that he gives youngsters hope, no matter where they come from, even if they're from lower income neighborhood of San Diego, that they can become wildly successful. An example of that you guys probably know is Nick Cannon. Did you guys say Nick Cannon's a pretty successful guy? Well, the drive and motivating force that got Nick Cannon to be one of the most successful stars in the world was a guy, personal friend of mine, that I met through Adria, who I met through the Epic Mastermind Experience, which we started with Sparky and Ali and a bunch of people. And you guys will hear more of the story about how that group and this event came into power. But it led me to a lot of great people, and this is one of them, my good friend, Mr. James Cannon.
Fourscore-and-7 years ago, our fathers came to this continent to establish a new nation, a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. People came from all over the world to America, to a place of opportunity, a place of dreams, a place that in America that if you can work hard, you can understand the meaning of what hard work brings: liberty, justice for all. But it takes all of us. This afternoon, I'm here to say one thing, and that is none of us as good as all of us. And that's what's been proven in this nation over and over again, that none of us is as good as all of us. We call it synergy, young lady. That's where you pour in the cup and I pour in the cup, and together we can create masterpieces. Something more dynamic than what you could have created all by yourself. But together we can start synergizing, and we can start creating some things like Einstein and Edison, and together we can make some things happen, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes we forget that. We forget that we are in an inescapable network of mutuality, that what affects you affects me. That means I can never be totally successful until I help you become successful. I can never be totally healed until I help you understand the healing principles as well. None of us is good as all of us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Building from that premise, though, in a world where you can be what you want to be, in a world, again, where you start out as a caterpillar going out in life, but then you have to come to a point where now you find yourself on the edge of the ledge. No more caterpillar. Whatever your history was that got you here, whatever got you into that cocoon, it was a fun time, you had a great time, a great life, or whatever got you in that cocoon, you came out, and now you're on that ledge with new tools. And it's frightening sometimes, especially if you've never used these. Imagine a butterfly, never using these tools before. He cannot afford to make a mistake. He cannot afford to destroy his wings, his new tools. He's got to be more circumspectly. I love God and how he set that thing up, because while he was a caterpillar, he was learning the ropes. He was making some friends. The ants and the caterpillar kind of got a friendship going on, a network going on, where they help each other, believe it or not. It's amazing. I guess the ants know, listen, if this guy starts flying high, he's going to see some things we can't see. It's beneficial for us to network. We're totally different, but it's beneficial for us to network. But then the butterfly has to realize, now it's up to him to take off. It's up to him to use these wings. It's up to him to soar now like he's never. And he told him, he said, one day I'm going to get my wings and I'm going to soar. I'm going to see things from a whole different level. I'm not going to be able to hang out with y'all like I used to hang out with y'all, because I'm going to be soaring and seeing things. I'm the same person, believe it or not. Metamorphosis is going to take place. My second point, my first point is, none of us is good as all of us. So much I want to share with you in this 14 minutes. None of us is good as all of us. The second point is, ladies and gentlemen, ain't no we coming out the cocoon. There comes a point where there ain't no we. It comes a point, if you want to join the 4 o'clock club in the morning to make your success go to the next level, it ain't no we. Ain't nobody going to call you on the telephone. You got to be so motivated and so encouraged about your calling that you do whatever you have to do to get it done. Because believe it or not, you're going to go down in history. Each person in this room, you're going to go down in history. But the beauty of it is, young lady, you get to determine what you're going to do in that period of time. You get to determine how many books that you're going to write. You're going to determine how many speaking engagements that you're going to book. It's up to you at this point now. Even though none of us is as good as all of us, even though sometimes you got to build a team, but even with that, you have to build a team. You're going to have to be the one making the telephone calls, writing the letters, reminding people and encouraging people. Because if it is to be, it's going to be up to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be up to you. If you set your goal, then you got to determine, I'm going to hit that goal. Because what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, there's some destiny, there's some future, there's some things in front of you that you cannot see yet. There's some callings for you. Ladies and gentlemen, real quickly, and I'm so sorry. How much time do I have? There's a gentleman, he said to his wife said to him, honey, I'm proud of you. He said, huh? She said, I'm proud of you. He said, huh? She said, I'm proud of you. He said, oh, I've been tired of you. Point, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying. So in this quick moment, I just wanted to share this with you because this is valuable. In writing a book, put a book together called The Calling. Nick Cannon is my son, and he wrote the foreword of this, and powerful book. You need to get this book. The beauty of this book is help my son has lost his mind. What that means is all of us with our children, we come to a point where peer pressure is so strong, where they're listening to knucklehead people at school, and people that, why are you even listening to them? The only thing the parents can say, wait a minute, I've been taking care of you, I'll clothe you, I'll look out for you, we talk, I'll get you everything you want. But you're treating your knucklehead friends like they got more sense and intelligence, like they love you more than I do. So the only thing you can say is, you must have lost your mind. So I'm saying, when they lose their mind, what do we as parents do? Okay, I want to give this book away to somebody. I want to give each one of these books away to somebody. But what do the parents do? First thing you do, you got to remind them how much you love them. And you got to use that word, I love you, son. You got to come up with sign languages just in case you can't see them, but you and him know what you mean. To keep that bond there. You also got to reading is fundamental. You got to continue to read with your children. You got to continue to read together. You got to say, son, you read this and I'll read something you reading, because now you're growing and you're learning together. You keep that bond together. The peer pressure is going to get strong. They're going to listen to other people, and rightly so. You want them to build a bond with other people, but you also want to know that, listen, me and you have a bond too, and that becomes valuable. What do you do when your child loses their mind, begin to treat you like their enemy? You remind them how much you love them. You use the word more and more. You pray with your child. Say, hey, listen, slow down before you leave out. We just pray with you. It don't have to be a long prayer, but it's something powerful about bringing your child and you in conversation with God. There's something powerful about slowing them down and saying, I know you're busy, son, but if I can just have, I don't want to give you a lecture, but if I can have 60 seconds with you, I just want to pray with you. I want to pray that you be protected out there. And there's something powerful about that, because if you do that with your children, then your children will do that with their children. And there's something powerful, ladies and gentlemen. This book has helped my son has lost his mind. I want to get this way to 2 people. Can I do that real quick? Anybody that would love to have this book here? Sir. Young lady. Beautiful. I have another book, and the reason I'm showing you in this book, and this one is The Calling. Everybody has a calling. It's the difference between a purpose and a calling. I have the audacity to say in this book that I can show you your calling in 3 days, ladies and gentlemen. It's something that happened in that cocoon in them 3 days when that caterpillar is in there that is changed with a metamorphosis. It's something happened, ladies and gentlemen, in them 3 days when Christ was in that grave and something took place in there. It's something in those 3 days that can change a person's life. So I'm saying in 3 days you can know your calling. Everybody has a calling. And there's a difference between a purpose and a calling. That chair has a purpose, but it cannot have a calling. It cannot be determined to fulfill this thing. When you have a calling, you're determined to fulfill it. So if you know you got to be up in the morning walking at 4 o'clock, and you up at 4 o'clock, you don't have no friends. You're up, you're walking, you're doing this. Everybody has a calling. And I submit to you that once you learn your calling and you're walking in your calling, other people will see it. And they'll see what you're doing and they'll start walking in their calling. And it's a beautiful situation. Let me give this one away. This one away. Some powerful stuff in there. This one, okay? And the reason I'm sharing you this, and my views are different, but what I'm sharing with you here, this one is Abort No More Kings. Abort No More Kings. I'm saying, first of all, to the gangbangers that's shooting and killing and destroying each other, cut that foolishness out. We got too much synergy that we can put together. It's too much creative stuff that we can create together. That the only thing that we can figure out is destroy each other. Cut that foolishness out. And if you've done it, I'm saying let's pray about it, brother, because you need some prayer, man, if you've taken someone's life. But it is people in our communities that's running around free, that have taken people's lives. Somebody has to be able to say, cut that foolishness out. I'm not saying turn yourself in and tell your secrets to me. I said you got to have a made-up mind. Say, listen, I get it, Mr. Cannon. I will never, ever do that again. And without going into a long conversation, we have to speak to the ladies too. They get counsel, because once you get life in here, once you get life in here too, just like that caterpillar, I don't know what's going on in the inside, but I know that's ordained by God. If that's ordained by God, what's going on in that cocoon with that caterpillar, then that's got to be ordained on God, what's going on in that mother's womb too. So then I have to say, abort no more kings, ladies. Let's rethink that. And there's some powerful conversations in there. So I've got another book where I'm saying, stop the hating, and what every mother needs to know when your son is stopped by the police. First, you got to obey the law. You can't get due process if you disobeying the law. It makes no sense. If you want due process, understand the law, work within the law, function within the law, and you're a whole lot stronger. Can I give this to someone too? And I'm going to give the Abort one to Kings too. This is power. I want to give these two. Okay. And the reason I'm sharing that with you, because it established conversation. In my 5 minutes, we can wrap this thing up. Board member